G'day, this is Donna from Clever Crafting and thank you for joining me today. And we're going to make a fairly simple card today, but the technique is all about how to make your own reusable background stamp. So we're going to be using some fun foam. This is just an A4 sheet of double-sided tape, and we're going to use these snowflake dies. In actual fact, I'll be using just the two smallest ones to make this background. I had so much fun making these today. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just cutting a strip of the fun foam in my Tim Holtz cutter. Of course, you can cut it in any guillotine or I think most cutters in actual fact. And I'm just going to cut a piece of the double-sided adhesive the same width as the fun foam to make it nice and easy to put together. So I'm just going to pull the release paper off, have to flip that over, fold it back a little bit and position my fun foam, line it up just in that small section at the top. So this makes it nice and easy to get it relatively straight and flat. So I'll just press that down at the top, then slip my hand under there and pull out the rest of the release paper so you can see how easily that went on. A little bit of tape there at the bottom, but I'll just snip that off. So I've actually got the sticky side down at this moment and the foam side up, and I'm going to cut out my snowflakes. So I've just run these dies straight through, forward and then backwards again in my extremely old Cuttlebug. I think it was one of the original ones. Cuts through beautifully. Although that looks a little bit difficult to get out, it really wasn't at all. I just pulled them out and they were wonderful. I then proceeded to cut out quite a few more. I can't tell you exactly how many, but you know, a few. It didn't take me a great length of time. So you can see the bundle of them at the top of the stamping platform there. I'm just placing, this is the size that I want. It's an A6, which is quarter of an A4. And this is an old piece of acetate that I have removable tape on the back that I'm sticking over the top of that A6 piece on the platform. Now I'm just using that as a guide and I'm going to position all of my snowflakes. So all I'm doing right now is positioning them. I did stick that first one, but all of the rest of them I'm just going to put in where I want them to make sure they fit, wriggle them around, do all of that type of stuff until I've got it in the perfect spot, which happens to be now. All I need to do is just release the backing paper and stick them into place. So really nice and easy and a great way to get excuse me, some extra use out of your dies. So you can see though that my acetate is a little bit big. That is an old piece of acetate. It came off the front of a workbook that I no longer needed. So I have used that to make my background stamp on. And all I'm doing is lining up that card. You can kind of see it there. I'm lining up the card with the edge of my cutter and then just cutting off the excess. Removing that card off the back and voila, there is my background stamp. So the card that I'm making today is a small card. I like to make a small Christmas card. It's 3.5 inches wide by 5 inches tall. And I am just putting some of that removable tape on it to hold it all in place on my platform. So, because I'm stamping directly on my card, there's not a matte layer. You can see that I've still got the removable tape on the back of my background die. I'm just going to press it down on the lid of my stamping platform. And now I'm going to cover it with, to make sure it's secure actually, and I'm covering the card with the anti-static powder using some Versamark. And I'm going to press that down. Now, interestingly, for some bizarre reason, I've excluded the heat embossing part where I actually heat up my embossing, just giving you fair warning, but you will see the end result. I'm using, this is Wow Superfine Embossing Powder in the clear. I just wanted a really subtle background on this one. So there you are, it looks lovely. All white and now it's all clear, but you can see it, it does give a lovely subtle background. So this is now a simple group of Christmas trees and it's cut out of a matte silver card stock, and I'm just placing that onto some vellum and I'm going to fussy cut it. The fussy cutting on this one's quite simple, of course, because they're nice straight lines. Didn't take very long at all. Look, done already. Now I was thinking I'm just going to put that flat on my card, but decided now, no, I want a little bit of dimension. So I cut out a couple more of the trees out of grey card, and I'm just using spray adhesive in a old box there and sticking them together. This, of course, you know, the spray adhesive gives you plenty of room for, you know, wriggle room. Excuse me. And now I just needed to spray it again to put the top one on. So you can see that these are easy to line up because they've got those beautiful peaks at the top of each tree. So lining these ones up to give it dimension is easy. I'm simply putting some dots now of this glue. Now this glue I purchased, it's a matte glue, so it doesn't show if you get any spillage out on your card. Just pop some weight on that where we've positioned it on the card. Have myself a chocolate. Now this stamp set I love. It's got a lot of greetings in it. I'm just using Merry Christmas out of it. I'm not sure whether I should stamp directly on, but decide, yeah, what the hell, let's give it a go. Hopefully it'll work. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So I'm stamping that Versamark directly on my card front. Just hold it there for a second to help the ink transfer. I'm going to use some silver embossing powder on this. Now this silver embossing powder I bought years and years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. I bought several different ones from a lady on eBay. I have no idea what brand it is. It's not super fine, but it's not too coarse that I can't use it for text, and just seems to keep on going. Now I'm just going to use my heat gun, make sure it's nice and hot, because I don't want to spend too much time over, you know, putting this over my card, because I don't want to wreck my background. And as it turned out, it worked beautifully. I think I'm just going to top that up a little bit more with my heat gun, a tiny little bit there, smooth it out a bit. And there's our card. So I've just got a couple of images of the background stamps that I made and some of the other cards that I made as well for you to have a quick look at. I really appreciate you joining me today and you taking the time to check out this process video. I'd love you to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love for you to put them in the comments section. And I'll see you next time. Bye.